I will do everything I can to be an access point and an advocate for them, and to be a county surveyor that they can be proud of.
Hello, I'm Alex Renneman with Unleashed Tiger, and I'm with Chad Proudfoot, who's running for Taylor County Surveyor. Chad, thanks for coming on the program.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
For sure. So when we talked in the primary, I kind of was I kind of got caught unaware of what was really going down with this race. And
Sure.
so now in the primary, you were running unopposed in the Democratic ticket, and Jay Taylor was running unopposed in the Republican ticket. And even then, he said, "Hey, Tim Brake is going to be coming in the general," and we've interviewed Tim as well. And so, in talking to you, can you help me understand what's going on with this race in terms of the primary and then generally, and what's happening here?
Oh, sure. So the reason I decided to run for county surveyor is it's an office that's created under the state constitution, and so every county has to elect one. Back in the day, the county surveyors did quite a bit of stuff, um, but over the years that has really changed, and so now it's an office that has no duties under the state code. There's no office, there's no salary, and the county doesn't have to use you to survey land. But a couple of years ago, the legislature did pass a law that said that elected county surveyors needed to be licensed surveyors in the state of West Virginia, which is fine, except under the Constitution, the legislature is not allowed to prescribe additional qualifications for offices that are created in the Constitution. And so I decided, you know what? I'm going to run because I want to show that no, anybody still is allowed to run for this office. And if the legislature wants to change something with that, they need to go through the process, which would be a constitutional amendment to either say that they could add the qualifications or to abolish the office, or something along those lines. And there's a long, long history of various court cases that have come up through the Supreme Court of Appeals over the years to show that no, the legislature really can't add qualifications or change things, and stuff like that. So I just wanted to do that to show that no, we can do this, and if they want to change something, they just need to go about it the right way.
Yep. So I think voters are, I like to think the best of voters in our representative republic here. And I think voters are interested in trying to understand why. Why is something important and how should I vote? And so I guess as they're hearing this and kind of processing it, what can you say to them? Why should they care about the surveyor's office?
Yeah. Well, the surveyor's office, even though it doesn't have any duties under the law, it doesn't mean that it's an office that can't do anything. And so to me, that's one of the things that can go on, is that this can be an office that can really be used in terms of what we can do for public advocacy and public education. So the surveyor is an office that somebody can use to talk about what we can do in terms of how land use planning works in the county. It's somebody that can advocate for people and their property rights and the things that go on with that, that can try and coordinate and work with other offices and government agencies that we have in terms of things like land use, and the environment and all of that kind of stuff. So even though it's an office, and if elected a surveyor, I wouldn't go out to survey land because licensed surveyors do that, and I'm very supportive of that. But I would like to use it in terms of helping people in Taylor County out, in terms of public advocacy and making known what's out there and what folks can know and need to know about our land use laws and things that can affect them with that. Be an advocate before the county commission for things and serve to provide information and education on things that I think would be of use to folks in Taylor County, or that they feel like they need.
So it does sound like more. It sounds like you've got more interest than just trying to prove a point from a constitutional perspective at our
Mhm.
state. It sounds like you're in. So why then? Okay, so now we know the office. We kind of know the importance and why the folks should maybe care about this office. Why
Mhm.
you? Why are you the best guy for the Taylor County folks to put you into the surveyor's office?
Sure. Well, I've been a lifelong resident of Taylor County. And I love living here. I think that we are very fortunate to be in the area that we're from. I've always said I found it I was very lucky to grow up rural because I think we got a lot of benefits out of that, but we're also really close to so many other things. And we can get to our smaller metropolitan areas near us, like Morgantown, Clarksburg, Fairmont, pretty quickly. We're near a couple of major metro areas with Pittsburgh and DC. And so I've always had that interest, and I want Taylor County to do well. We're a county that's growing in population. We've seen that over the last 20 years, and we're also an interesting kind of bedroom community now that we don't have a lot of industry anymore, but we do have people that are choosing to live here because we have a good quality of life. So I want to be the person to help with that. Um, I've got some background in things that deal with this. So I've got a master's in public administration. I've taken classes before in land use planning and cultural resource management. And so I feel like I could be a good advocate for people in Taylor County for the things that they feel that they need, to help them understand things with property and land use and rights and all of that. And I know the county very well. And so I want to get out there and I want to be that advocate to help them.
Great. So there's a lot you mentioned so far, and I like to try to boil it down. What's one
Sure.
outcome that folks could look if they were to vote you in? What's your number one outcome? What can they look to and say, "Yep, we got that one. Here's the one thing." I know there's a lot of things there, but what would be that one thing for you?
Sure. I would like to think that what the one major thing that they could get out of electing me is in terms of access to what this is in local government and education. That I'm somebody that they can come to when they say, "Listen, I have this problem or I have this question," and it's something that falls under land use and questions with that. That I can be that person there that helps get them answers that they need and provide them information and connect them to the resources that they want to have for stuff. So I would say of all the things I can do, that's the real crux is I want to be that person who is their access point and their advocate for what they need.
Gotcha. Makes sense. One of the questions I normally, I'm so enamored by this whole election and what's going on here. I
Mhm.
jumped right in. I usually like to open with a question, and it's a softball question. We'll end with, we're on the home stretch,
That's fine.
and then we'll ask for the last word. But what is something, so COVID, we were just talking before we got on air, COVID, some different things we've chosen to do. What's one thing that you can look at and say, here's something that I learned or experienced or something, that you were able to take advantage of. Again, I don't want to make light of COVID
Yeah.
and what it's done to our world, but what's something you've been able to say, I did this, or I learned this, or this is an experience we've had because, basically because what COVID had created in terms of context in our world today.
Oh yeah. I really think for me, the pandemic that we've had has forced so much stuff to happen virtually, which there's good and bad to that. But for me, it's been a wonderful opportunity I've connected with people that I haven't talked to in ages. And we've had Zoom meetings and we've had, all kinds of events that way. And I've learned so much too. I've been able to go to all kinds of webinars on things that have been going on around the country. So events and things that I would love to go to, but wouldn't be able to get there because of distance and time and money and all of that. So I've gone to lectures and things that have been held from the LBJ Presidential Library. I went to a virtual concert with the Toronto Symphony Orchestra. Just all kinds of things like that. So I've tried to do my best to make the best of it as much as possible. Because I'm like you, when I look back on things, 2020 is never going to be a banner year for anybody, but I at least want to have some happy things I can look back on.
Yep, that's right. That's great. Well, Chad, as is customary on this program, we offer the candidate the last word. So what is it you'd like to tell the folks of Taylor County?
Sure. I just want to tell the voters of Taylor County that I appreciate that we have this forum, that we can talk to them. And if they feel so inclined as to give me their vote, I promise that I won't be the kind of officer in this position that just sees, oh, it's got no duty, so I'm not going to do anything. That I will do everything I can to be an access point and an advocate for them, and to be a county surveyor that they can be proud of.
Perfect. Chad Proudfoot, running for Taylor County Surveyor. Chad, thanks for coming on the program and good luck.
Oh, thank you so much, Alex. Take care.
Take care.